what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
All of us need to be reminded that the federal government did not create the states. The states created the federal government.
Person in the segment that I'm about to show you from the news, from Channel 5, CBS News, out of an affiliate, I believe, in Arizona, of course, somewhere out there. It's astonishing. She's loving it. She is absolutely embracing her slavery, calling it her own. Like it's her own thing. It's that nobody can have. It's insidious. Anyway, wake up, because Big Brother is coming.
The idea of having barcodes with personal information tattooed on your body, it is here. Take a look at this. A tattoo artist in Phoenix is offering to give QR code tattoos. Now, QR stands for quick response. And when you take a photo of the code on your phone, it can take you right to the person's Facebook, website, and get their personal information.
It goes to a content.
It's something different that nobody else will have. It's my tattoo, and no one else could have it.
Here's a clip of Levi Smith from The Alex Jones Show.
I was actually kind of shocked that it was scannable, and so I put the word out, and I did a couple more, and now I'm tattooing a heavy metal band. Each member of the band is getting the QR codes tattooed on to go to their band website and all that stuff. And yeah, and it's a pretty stripped out thing.
Well, look, I'm not here to judge you individually, and obviously this is a fun gimmick. But obviously, many people have gotten fake barcode tattoos with 1984 under it to say that they're against being turned into a product. They're against the face scanning that creates a digital barcode from the measurements of your face or your thumbprint being used for some really draconian government controls. I'm sure you've heard about license plate reading cameras, face scanning cameras, and the fact that people would want to run out and, get a barcode and put it on their body to then connect it to their Facebook. I'm sure you've seen the reports about the dehumanizing effects of Facebook and things like that, where people don't have real relationships. They just basically collect friends like baseball cards.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I agree with that as well. And there is a clear line between the people that are really interested in this sort of thing versus those that really find it kind of abhorrent and find it as something that's kind of a warning as as potential times to come with the lost privatization and the increasing influence of technology in our immediate personal lives. The people that are really getting them much more tend to be younger people, counterculture people, people that are kind of using it to kind of own it, the same way that like minority groups would use racial slurs and stuff towards themselves as a way to kind of take it back, sort of thing.
There's a lady getting one of these where she says, it's mine, only I can have it. But, I mean, I don't see that as it being hers. It now ties her into the Matrix, and she's basically taking, some corporate Pentagon. I mean, it is the Pentagon that developed the barcode in 1984 of all years. They made a deal with Walmart to demand all of their suppliers have the barcode. Now they want RFID tracker chips in all products, so that in MIT, in the Pentagon's own words, they'll be able to track the real world like cyberspace with all these tracker chips. And I've noticed with clothes I get laundered, they now stick an RFID glued sticker without asking me that rips your clothes if you take it off. So now I have to go to a new launder place to get some of my clothes laundered because they're not even asking. They're just sticking this on my clothes, gluing it to it. And sure, it's convenient for them, but more and more, I'm sure you've heard about the FBI putting tracker chips on cars without warrants.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's a further attempt to digitize reality because it's so much easier to control a digital world than the real chaotic world. So, in an attempt to control that more, this could very well be used as as a method. These QR code tattoos, but also they're very, very easy to modify and stuff. So I don't think that they're really viable as a control device or a tracking device, or something like RFID chips or some kind of like a magnetized ink or some crazy nanotechnology.
Sure, you're right, but I'm telling you, the Pentagon was in Washington Tech, the tech publication, the Washington Post at the time, in '99, and they said, we love the body modification, the mutilation, the tattoo movement, mainlining, the body piercings, because their psychological warfare breakdowns show that would then cause the public to accept forced microchipping, as the Mexican Attorney General did 7 years ago of his office employees in Mexico City. And so, my point here is that you're right. We don't need the tattoo. They already get your digital photo when you get a driver's license, put it in a federal database, and now can track you. Your face basically forms, their own barcode.
Yeah.
But I mean, my whole issue is just, did you hear about the VeriChip company that signed up with a bunch of Baja Beach clubs in the U.S. and Europe to get into the VIP area with the girls in bikinis? You've got to take an implantable microchip.
Really? Wow. I've heard of VeriChip, but I didn't realize that they were already implementing that, in those kinds of ways, like on a commercial level. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, if you just type into a search engine Baja Beach Club or nightclubs, Baja Beach Club nightclub, VeriChip, implantable chip. Because that's what the global engineers, Ray Kurzweil and others, write books about it. They say, look, at first you won't be able to have a job if you're not implanted, and if you don't do all this augmentation and brain chips.
Well, yeah, you'll be a non-person if you sit out and refuse to get these trackable devices that control your ability to purchase and sell and everything that we've always been warned about. Then you're not going to be allowed to take part in that digital society.
But see, exactly by standardizing, Levi, and obviously you're a smart guy here talking to you. I was going to yell at you, but you obviously know what's going on.
Yeah, this is totally my sort of thing. I've had some of my friends call me the Antichrist for doing this, and I think it's kind of funny, and I may be in some way contributing to the psychological acceptance of doing this sort of thing, but it's not something that that I'm necessarily blind towards, and I'm not exactly for it either. But at the same time, I'm part of that counterculture movement that wants to kind of own it. If we can use this technology in ways and understand it, maybe we can use it to fight.
But
back.
Levi Smith, when you dance with the devil doesn't change, he changes you. Beware staring into the abyss, lest you become the abyss.
Right.
But expanding on that, here's what I'm trying to say. The Pentagon, MIT, they all created the global infrastructure, the internet, all these systems. They admit that they're going to force all business through it so that then only mega corporations can basically operate in the system. And all of this barcoding, all of this stuff is extincting local businesses, community. Now they're harassing roadside places selling eggs or oranges or watermelons. They're now arresting people selling fresh milk. They're now hunting down with the animal ID, premises ID, trying to shut down local farms and ranches. This is a full spectrum dominance matrix control system. And I'm telling you, you can't own this. I'm telling you, this is playing directly into their hands. Perhaps by you doing this, and now if you speak out about it and point this out, perhaps some good can be made of it. But I'm telling you, this is going to destroy us.
There's a great possibility of that. I've got a lot of faith in humanity and the inherent difficulty in actually maintaining any kind of control over us for a certain amount of time. It's also said that that we'll win. The people will win, but it's that trial and tribulation that we have to go through that maybe will help us in a way and help help move our culture forward and move out of this violent kind of state that we tend to have been in for the past 3,000 years.
Well, Levi, here's the issue. The system implants modern versions of Christianity on record to make people believe the world is basically going to go through something, so we can't stop this inevitable foregone conclusion, self-fulfilling prophecy, when the truth is every generation goes through crises. Right. And we need to, Rwandans, when they were being murdered, the Tutsis were being killed by the Hutus, or was it vice versa? they believed, it was the Tutsis being killed by the Hutus. Check that for me, folks. My memory fails in 93 or 94. The point is that they believed it was the end of the world and it was the Antichrist. People in Germany thought it was the end of the world and the Antichrist was Hitler. But the point is there are many Antichrists, and we need to say no to this system now, because even if it is the end of the world coming, we are being tested now on the decisions we make. And listen, that doesn't mean I'm on some high horse about what you're doing.
No, I get you. You know, this is something that's indicative of, you know, the warnings and whatnot. You know, and I agree that we have to, you know, we have to be cautious towards these things. But you know, I don't know. It's you know, to me, it's a novelty, and I'm a bit of a tech head, and you know, like with Ray Kurzweil and stuff. You know, I'm really optimistic about what technology can do for us and whatnot, and also its inherent dangers of, you know, what it can take from us.
Sure, but I mean, you're probably getting into his more public rantings where it's meant to look good to the proletariat. Here's an example. Most big gyms in Austin now, I can't have a membership at because they make you thumb scan to go in and lift weights.
Right.
Libraries, many public schools make the kids thumbprint, no cash allowed, no credit cards allowed. It tracks everything you do. We're entering a system under a global sales tax collected nationally, delivered to the IMF and World Bank internationally, where you're not going to be able to accept cash. You're not going to be able to accept a check. It's all being phased out. You're going to have to pay with your face scan, with your barcode, with your chip, with your RFID, and that's so you can't escape the taxes that are going to go up and up and up that are designed to break down the once vibrant real economy and the black market economy. So this system is death to true local community. Right.
Yeah, and I, you know, I do get you. You know, I just, you know, I'm not sure what to say as far as like my position with doing the QR codes. I do realize my you know, my part in the I guess the acceptance of this sort of thing, but I don't know. I seem to have a little bit more optimism in you know, in humanity's ability to generally resist this sort of thing.
I have optimism. That's why I'm fighting right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, because the fight is now. I mean, they're integrating this. They're setting it up. They had face scanning cameras up in the town I live in 10 years ago. They only admitted to the slaves last year. I mean, sir, the war is now. I mean, I'm just telling you. Did you know that most major cities don't just add fluoride to the water? They actually add radioactive isotopes?
Right. You know, treating the water and stuff to control, you know, various balances in the body and the brain and whatnot, keep it docile and, you know.
I mean, because that's admitted. I have the Rockefeller Foundation reports. It's also to kill you, slowly kill you. I mean, this is pretty hardcore is what I'm saying.
Right.
And I mean, you know, the point is we've been eased in to this cold water. They've turned the heat up, and now we're boiling. And I'm just saying, I don't think we're going to own this, getting barcodes that can actually be scanned by enemy platforms like Facebook. It's one thing to go into Facebook, as we do, into the Matrix to try to reach people with red pills. But I think it's another thing, you know, to kind of say, make me a movie star in the Matrix.